Snooker, Loopy, nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pot the red, then screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker, Loopy, nuts are we, we're all snooker, Loopy, bum 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 bum.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Snooker Loopy podcast. I'm here with my very, very good friend. He's the Sheriff of Pottingham, Joe Haddard!
Yes, hello everybody. Thank you for the very kind introduction again, comparing me to Anthony Hamilton. That's an honour. He's a very heavy scorer, Anthony Hamilton, isn't he? Whenever I've watched him play, he always seems to get multiple century breaks.
Maybe you're his lucky charm.
How are you doing, Tom?
I am very well. I've been coping with the lack of snooker. Okay, have you got any coping mechanisms for putting up with this lull we find ourselves in?
Well, luckily there's other stuff to watch. I think
Other sports? What?
Other sports. I've actually been playing quite a bit of snooker as well recently. I'm going after this podcast actually, so there you go. Maybe you'll inspire me, Tom, to go and get a century break today.
Have you ever made a century?
No.
Oh, I mean, that feeling there when you make one for the first time is going to be beautiful.
I like your optimism that it's a when I make it.
Well, it will be. Surely, if you try and keep doing it, you'll get there.
Yes, yeah, hopefully.
As long as you don't break down on 99, that'd be heartbreaking.
Well, yeah. No, well, Shane Warne, obviously not a snooker player, but was famous for never having a century with the bat, and he got into the 90s many, many times. Never quite got to the 100, so...
Oh, that's heartbreaking, isn't it? Surely you'd let him once he was so close.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a bit like making a goal line save. You take real joy from spoiling their day.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But I suppose in snooker you've only got yourself to blame, and that's what...
That's true, yeah. There's no one diving on to stop you from getting the last ball.
Yeah, unless it was a protester with a mysterious orange bag.
Yes, unless that's the only case. They did stop Rob Milkins from getting a 147. He could argue technically.
Yeah.
101. Yes, it's just a thing of beauty. It's poetry in motion. It's another turn up.
Last year, we picked teams for Q School, and we were remarkably successful, I think. Sometimes by accident.
Most of the time by accident, I would argue.
But I think we're going to give it another crack this year, aren't we? I'm not sure we'll do quite as well. I think I think last year was quite weird in that there was a lot of established pros that were no longer pro trying to get back onto the circuit. I'm not sure it's quite as heavy a field this time, but that's maybe my controversial view of the episode, is it?
Well, we should talk about Q School in general maybe before we do our...
Oh, yeah.
Because if people don't know what Q School is, basically after the end of the season, some players fall off tour, they lose their professional tour card, and one of the ways they can get their tour card back is by entering this tournament Q School. And the really interesting thing about Q School for me, Joe, is the fact that anyone can enter.
Yeah.
Literally, I could enter, you could enter, anyone listening. If you're listening to the podcast, you could enter Q School and have a chance of becoming a professional snooker player.
Yeah.
Which I don't know any other sport where it's it feels so accessible to turn pro.
Oh, I think darts has a Q School as well.
Or do you reckon anyone's ever entered both?
Well, Sean Murphy probably could when he drops off the snooker tour. Because Sean Murphy, if you don't know, people at home, is the person that claims he is the only existing person, thing, being that has achieved a hole-in-one. Well, because, I don't want to just say humans, because it could potentially reach out to other species as well.
There could be a very talented dragon out there, you're implying.
Absolutely, yes. So he's got a hole-in-one. He's got a 147 and a 9-darter. So he thinks he's the only person that's ever done that.
I mean, you've done that on video games.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a very good point. I should challenge him to a duel.
You might be the only person who's done that on video games.
That's a good point. And I've had a 155 on Snooker 19 as well. I'm not sure Sean Murphy can say he's had a 155.
I've got a few bits of information about some people who previously entered Q School, because obviously anyone can enter, which does mean, there's no barrier to age or to experience or to talent. The one for this person, I'm saying it because of age. He used to be a pro, so he's clearly got the talent. But there's a man called Desi Sheehan, who's an Irish player, who in 2019, he entered Q School at the age of 69.
Wow.
That's past retirement age, and he's trying to turn pro again.
Well, I think Tony Knowles has given him a run for his money, because Tony Knowles is 67 this year, and he's in Q School, so...
Two other names I've noted down. Simon Bevs, who I picked last year before realising he's a man who I believe has entered Q School a number of times, and he's got a record of something like 30 games played, 30 losses.
Oh. Well, you've got to pick him again, surely.
Well, it's either him or a player called Heather Clare, who I noted as one of 2 female players in the draw. The other female player is a very talented young player who reached the Women's World Championship final, who probably has a shot at getting on tour in the future at some point. But Heather Clare has entered Q School, again, a number of times without winning a single frame.
Oh.
It's something like 40-0 in terms of frames played.
Oh. Wow.
So I want those 2 to draw each other. Why would they not do that?
Well, yeah. Give one of them a chance. Yeah.
But other names people might recognise, you mentioned Tony Knowles. He's going to be trying to get back on tour for the first time in decades. Yep,
and Dean Reynolds, who I had in a team last year. He used to play in the 1980s, but he's 60 years old, so, a guy called Daniel Walker. Is he any relation to Rob Walker?
I think it's going to be Rob Walker, just with a different name tag.
and have a listen to this, Tom. Before we came on the podcast, I said this cannot be a real person, right? Somebody called Ronnie Sullivan. Ronnie Sullivan.
Again, is that just Ronnie O'Sullivan wearing a fake moustache?
Well, it could well be. It could well be.
You also picked out before the podcast Paul Burrell.
Paul Burrell, yes. Yeah, so fresh from his stint on I'm a Celebrity South Africa, he's ready and raring to go and give it his all to get back on not even back on the snooker tour, but just on the tour. He'll be happy with.
Yeah, I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah. There's a guy called Jason Tart in there as well. Yeah.
Oh, I want Jason. If he's not in your team, Joe, he's in my team.
Jason Tart. I'm looking forward to Dennis talking about him. We've got the likes of Gerard Green in there. Stephen Hallworth as well. The Lincolnshire Sausage. Our podcast mascot.
Mascot? Are we going to dress him up in a big snooker ball?
No, a big sausage. Yeah. Rory McLeod trying to get back on there. Robin Hull, I've not seen his name for a little while, so interesting to see him back in there. Peter Lines, of course, looking to get back on tour and keep that father-son thing going.
Well, there's also Luke Pinches, Joe. Luke and Barry.
Yes, yeah. Of course, Michael Holt as well. will be probably one of the favourites again. Louis Heathcote, Liam Davis. There's lots of players that have made a name for themselves over the last few years. So maybe I was a little bit harsh before saying that there wasn't as many established players in there. But I'm certainly looking forward to seeing who gets on the tour. There's always a few names that we've seen before that qualify. Sometimes it's exclusively that.
I've not seen this name before, Joe, and it's just making me very happy. There is a 50-year-old man who used to be a pro called Andy Neck.
Andy Neck? The great Andy Neck? Yeah, I want to see his Q tracker. Let's have a little look.
That sounds like the weirdest chat-up line. Oh, I want to see your Q tracker, mate.
94, 95. Oh, he was a professional that season, I think. He played in the 1995 World Championship, lost in qualifying to Daryl Peach.
I like Daryl Peach as a name, though.
Yeah, there's also Darren McVicker.
McVicker?
Yeah. He'll be praying that he gets a good draw.
Hey! Oh, that's Joe taking the rest of the podcast off.
And this one, right, the Indian sensation, Dharminder Lilly.
Is he the brother of David?
Well, he could well be.
Oh, beautiful.
And also, this has got to be a joke name. Edwin de Poorter. From Belgium.
That's not a real person, is it?
No. He's just going to be some horribly racist guy that is going around trying to oust people.
You've created a snooker sitcom in your head there, haven't you, John?
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be just like Jensen Kendrick last year. This guy's going to end up qualifying for the tour, and I'll have to eat me words. But
I mean, that's the thing, Joe. If we say enough names, some of them will.
Or none of them will, and the people that are left will have to be the ones that qualify.
Well, yeah, so I think, is it 8 players will qualify through Q School? Is that
yes.
correct?
Yeah, I think we should both pick 8 players. And I think I'm going to give you the pleasure of taking the first pick this time, Tom. I've got my spreadsheet ready.
Oh, well, I mean, it has to be the Lincolnshire sausage, Stephen Holworth.
Oh, that's a good choice. It's a good choice. Holworth. Yeah, I think that could be a pretty strong selection, if I'm honest with you. Ooh, who am I going to go? Well, I have to really go for Ronnie Sullivan, don't I?
Come on, Ronnie!
Imagine that match. Ronnie O'Sullivan plays Ronnie Sullivan.
It would be amazing because the pundits would be having a field day. Like Rob Walker would be going, "This is amazing," and you know Hazel would be going, "Oh, this is exciting." They'd all be really pumped, but Ronnie O'Sullivan just wouldn't give a damn, would he at all?
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna go for. Well, we'll go for the ABBA format.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for Dean Reynolds. He's going to not let me down this year.
Well, you should remember, Joe, the winner takes it all.
Yes. Thanks for the ABBA reference, Tom.
That's all right. I'm going to go for Andy Neck.
We could have the possibility that none of our players qualify.
Why have I chosen Andy Neck? It's too early to make joke predictions, Tom, but I've done it.
Yeah, you get a second pick now. Another chance.
I'm going to go, just because I've not seen his name around, and I always thought he was a decent player, so I'm going to go for Robin Hull.
Oh, he was going to be my next pick.
Oh.
Robin Hull. So your team so far, Stephen Holworth, Andy Neck, and Robin Hull. Right, I'm going to have to start picking some serious picks. I'm worried now. Well, I think I'm going to have to go for Michael Holt. Surely he's got to get back on tour this year. Oh, the temptation to go for Devinder Lilly is almost unmanageable.
Do it, Joe.
Eden Sharav I'm going to go for.
Oh, I I'm going to go for a player I'm very surprised to see dropped off the tour. That's Alexander Ursenbacher.
Yes, that's a good one. You got 4 more picks.
Okay, I'm going to go Liam Davis.
Oh, good one. I'm going to go Higginson, Andrew Higginson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go for Bayou Lou.
Oh, I was gonna go for Bai next. I was gonna go for her. Yeah, she did look very, very good in the Women's World Championship. Played very well.
Yeah, and recently won the Women's British Open, actually, as well.
Oh, okay. So, how many more picks have I got?
3. You've got 2 of them now.
Jason Tart.
Jason Tart, yeah.
I mean, if he gets on, I'll consider that a win because it's such a good name. Oh, I'm going to have to go Craig Steadman.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. I'm tempted. So these are my last 2 picks now. I am tempted to go for Peter Lines.
Oh, he's made it through Q School before, I believe. Probably a couple of times.
Yeah, and I think my last pick, I'm going to go for Vladislav Gradinari, who, of course, we ridiculed before the shootout. And he actually ended up winning a match. Mm-hmm. So it's your last pick now, Tom.
Oh, no.
I mean, you've got to go for Tom Maxfield. That's the closest you're going to get to your name being onto it. So,
oh, that's so tempting. But I do also want, I also want to try and win. So, is there a?
Surely you've got to go Aristos Pampouris.
There's also someone called Pommy Kang. Richard Pipe.
Or otherwise known as Dick Pipe.
No one can be called that. Rob Walker would have a field day at the Crucible with that. Here comes Dick Pipe.
Let's hope he doesn't shaft anybody else.
Okay, my final choice will be...
So, sorry, what was that, Tom?
What, can't you see him? He's on this list called...
You've got to go Paul Burrell, surely.
No, I refuse. I don't like his royal connections.
Oh,
I
yes.
think that gives him a unfair advantage.
Well, he is wearing on his waistcoat "Scrap the Monarchy."
If he was, I would definitely pick him straight away. Okay, I'm going to go for Tam Mustafa.
I knew you. I was literally looking at his name there. So much for wanting to win, right?
Don't you criticise Tam Mustafa, Joe?
The 45-year-old.
Right. So, do you want to take us through our teams, Joe?
Yeah. So to recap, Ton's team, we've got the Lincolnshire Sausage himself, Stephen Hallworth. We've then got arguably the greatest player of all time, Andy Neck. We've then got the Finnish sensation, Robin Hull, not from Hull. And then we've got the Federer of the Bays, Alexander Ursenbacher. We got the Welsh potting machine, Liam Davis. We've then got the man that likes a night out, Jason Tart. And then Steady Craig Steadman. And the Lion King himself, Tam Mustafa.
The Lion King himself.
See? Rob Walker, move over.
Yeah.
And
you've just cost him his job there, Joe.
My team are the Rocket Ronnie Sullivan, We've then got the snooker manager, Dean Reynolds. The hitman, silent assassin, Michael Holt. Then we've got the Scottish man turned Israeli, Aidan Sharav. Not John, Andrew Higginson. And then we've got the probably the next biggest women's snooker player, Bayu Lu. And then the guy that's good at using all aiming aids, Peter Lines. And the shootout sensation, Gradinari.
Oh, I mean, I think Joe's got the better team on paper, I'll be honest.
I don't know. I've got some definite history of not getting through Q school in there. At least you've got a few in there that have done it a few times. So I think you're in a good place. I think it's quite equal actually. We'll run a similar system to what we did last time with the shootout, and we'll make it exciting by putting some points on how many matches they win and that sort of thing. I am tempted to go for frames one, considering Tom has got some people that have never won a frame, but but we will see. But that will be good. Let us know your teams down in the comment section. We are getting quite the cult following of weirdos that like watching us, I think, like listening to us. But we really do appreciate the support on it. I don't know if you want to mention it, Tom, but I had a good read through the comment section a few days ago, and lots of people making saying very nice things about the podcast, and it does make it all worthwhile doing, because we'd probably be having these chats anyway, but it's nice that people like listening to it.
Yeah, well, we got a load of lovely comments on the last one, including Neville Townsend, who said, "What a criminally underrated podcast on channel. Thank you very much, Neville." And he said he sung Snooker Loopy last week at his local karaoke bar.
Well, yes. There you go.
I am hoping he uploads it so he can be a future Cue the Music, to be honest.
Yes, well, I'm checking out his channel, and I can't see anything recently uploaded, but let us know, Neville. If you do upload it, send us a link, and we will review it. We will be completely fair, and we will have to rate it as we do every other snooker song. And you know how harsh we are on these snooker songs, so...
Oh, just had a flashback to giving Dominic Dale an 8.
Speaking of Dominic Dale, Tom, I think a future Cue the Laughter, and it will be in many, many years, because it wouldn't work now, because the whole point of Cue the Laughter is to unearth things that have been lost over time. But Dominic Dale has a new series on the World Snooker Channel.
Yes, you sent me a link to this.
Yes, it's like Man Behind the Cue or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it sounded like they were trying to steal our thunder. All About Cue. There you go. All About Cue. It sounds like a segment that should be on our show.
Maybe, should we just rip it off?
I mean, All About Cue could be our comments. All About Cue, the viewers. There you go.
We had some more nice comments from the viewers, as you say. Snooker Mentalist said, "Cheers, lads. I've just spent the last 2 hours trying to think of food nicknames." That is 2 hours very well spent, mate. That's
yes.
2 hours. And he came up with Jordan Hash Brown.
That's a good one.
Tepchaya Sag Alu Anu.
I'm not sure that's quite in the league of Jordan Hash Brown, but top marks for effort.
Well, what about the final one is Sanderson Shoulder of Lamb.
Shoulder of Lamb, oh, love it. Yeah, it could have been Sanderson Lamb Chops. And look at the chops on that.
Oh, I sense a Wikipedia edit might be forthcoming.
Well.
When Alok gave us Lee Pei Fan as fan of pies.
That's a good one.
Lewis said, JV can live at the Crucible, just throw a towel over him at the end of his stint and he'll go to sleep until he's needed again.
Oh, sounds quite sad, really.
I like the idea of him refusing to move out, though.
Yes, yeah. Just living in the commentary box. They can't move the commentary box because he's just in there.
Just, where's JV going? He just throws a towel over his head and hides.
Say goodnight, JV. Good night, JV.
Right, Joe.
Yes.
Should we cue the laughter?
Yes, let's cue the laughter. And for once, it's me that's brought something along, Thomas. Thomas? Oh dear, we're getting all formal here.
There we are. That was a bit terrifying. I felt like I was talking to my grandpa all of a sudden.
Yes, Thomas. And I wanted to unearth something that I'm not entirely sure you will have come across. Maybe you will have. But have you ever played Ultimate Team, FIFA-wise?
Yes, I've played FIFA Ultimate Team.
You have played FIFA Ultimate Team. So, a few years ago, there was this very weird thing that came out called Ultimate Snooker Cards. And
what?
These Ultimate Snooker Cards were... I want to say they are of the same ilk as FIFA Ultimate Team. They look like the cards that you get in packs. But they're all snooker players. And I remember it was a bit of a Twitter sensation, and there was one for Ronnie, one for Jimmy White, Rhian Evans. And to go along with this story, Tom, I actually entered one of the competitions to win one of these cards. And I am the proud owner of a signed Rhian Evans...
Oh, look at that. Amazing.
Ultimate Snooker card. So the reason I thought these were particularly weird is because they're almost instantly out of date because, for example, Ronnie's is 6-time world champion. So
yep.
That's now out of date. But it's got, underneath Rhiann's name, it's got Beyonce Run the World. I'm assuming that's a walk-on music. I'm not entirely sure why it's there otherwise. Hometown Dudley. Highest break 140. Date of birth 25th of the 10th, 1985. Ranking events 57 wins.
Wow.
Triple Crown events 31 wins. And highest ranking number 1. Now, that could be quite misleading for new fans of snooker, thinking that she is almost twice the player Ronnie O'Sullivan is by his stats.
It says it on the
well,
card.
exactly. So, yeah, this was Ultimate Snooker Cards is what these were called. And there were about 10 made, I think. And you can still get them. There is a website. I've sent you a link to this, Tom.
Yeah, I've opened it. I mean, Joe, because you're a bit of a collector, right?
Yes.
So how tempted have you been to snap all of these up?
Not very.
I mean, they are 23 quid each.
Yeah. You know, I entered... I think it was possibly a bit of a rigged competition because I feel like I won it very quickly. Maybe they've seen who I was. And I don't mean that in a...
Wow,
do you know who I am? I mean it in these came out in 2020. Obviously, that was within the first year of Snooker 19's launch, and it was around the time of the Virtual World Snooker Championship. It all seemed a bit coincidental to me. I never win anything, but I suppose you've got to be in it to win it. But yes, I have a signed Rhian Evans card. I think they're a nice idea. I'm just not sure how it's ultimate. It's clearly trying to rip off FIFA Ultimate Team. But then it's got no like stats at the bottom. I think it would be cooler if perhaps it, like the snooker heads, it had the potting stats out of 147 and you know these things. I think personally, but clearly they were so successful because the same 10 are still available that were at the start. But you can get one of the following 10 players. So you can get one of Ronnie, Rhian Evans, Jimmy White, Dennis Taylor, Cliff Thorburn, Mark Williams, Stuart Bingham, Sean Murphy, Mark Selby, and Ken Doherty. So I am kind of tempted to get the Stuart Bingham one, and you can get them in multiple size. Well, 2 sizes: medium or extra large. So
you need to get an extra large Bingham.
An extra large Bingham is £26.55. So
worth every penny.
I might have to get that just to go with me 2 Stuart Bingham balls.
I mean, clearly they approached Hendry and he went no.
Yeah.
He's a glaring omission from this list.
Yes, yeah. And Ken Doherty's walk-on music, apparently the Pogues, Irish Rover.
Well, some of these I recognise. Like, I know Selby uses Kasabian. I know, Ronnie uses Oasis. I did not. I mean, because you can, players change their walk-on music. But I don't think I've ever seen Stuart Bingham walk on to Eminem's Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
Has he ever done that?
He did go through a phase of walking on to weird rap music, but maybe...
He had Stormzy.
He did, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's grime, not rap.
Joe, Dennis Taylor, I want you to have a guess at his walk-on music.
Oh, dear. Snooker Loopy.
No.
I have no idea. Please Release Me by Engelbert Humperdinck.
I mean, that I would expect that ahead of Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran.
Oh, my goodness. Is he from Galway?
I don't know, but do you know what his nickname is?
I didn't think he had a nickname. I thought that was...
According to this, his nickname is the Bulldog.
The Bulldog. Wow.
I've never heard him called the Bulldog in my life.
No, I've not either.
Wait, but they don't all have nicknames. Rhiannon Evans hasn't got one. What?
Yeah.
Why do some of them have nicknames and others don't?
Yeah, that's an odd one. And actually, Rhiannon Evans is the only one that's got a highest break on there. Which I wonder if is that a way of going, you didn't get a 147 in. Oh no, Ken's got highest break on his. To be fair,
that's what I want, Joe. With my Ultimate Team cards, I want a bit of inconsistency.
Well, exactly. I want to see how much extra large Mark Selby is. 26.55. There you go. But Dennis Taylor, his extra large, £35.
Why is Dennis Taylor's extra large so much? I feel
sure.
really uncomfortable saying why is Dennis Taylor's extra large so much, but I've said it. You can create your own.
You can create your own?
Yeah, at the top, create your own.
Oh. Oh no, we've started something now. We can possibly get a John Virgo one going.
If enough people go on there and create a John Virgo one, they might start selling it.
Yeah. Frequently asked questions. Here we go. Oh. There's no interesting ones, I'm afraid. I thought there might be a, why isn't there a John Virgo one?
Clearly you've not asked them enough, Joe. So do you like these cards, or do you think they're a bit naff, or how do you feel about them, Joe?
I think for the price of them, I think they are a bit naff, unfortunately. I think they should all be signed, in a way, to make them a bit more attractive. I don't know why. Why would I want to spend £35 on a... It is, it's a very cool bit of snooker merch. But if they're going to do it, why not do it for more players? And
well, I suppose also one of the issues is that with Ultimate Team, the whole idea is you build your own team.
Yes.
To, get the best 11 players on the pitch you can. Whereas with snooker, you can't really build a team.
Yeah.
You could do a doubles team, I suppose. But if you were trying to if me and you met up with all of our Ultimate Team snooker cards and tried to do a mixed doubles tournament, it would be impossible because there's only one female player, so we couldn't do that.
Yeah, we'd both have to share Rhiannon Evans.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess they're not meant as a actual thing to play. I think maybe because it comes from... I know a few people do get the custom Ultimate Team cards where they put their own face on it and they put that on their wall. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it's more for that kind of
Oh,
presentation
I
thing.
definitely think it's more for the collector. I don't think it's meant to be a game. Mainly because there's no way to compare stats. Otherwise, Rhiannon Evans would win everything.
Apart from nickname, which he comes up against the Bulldog Dennis Taylor.
But I thought I'd dredge that one up from the past.
Mate, that's
Had
great.
you ever seen those before, Tom?
I don't think I had, I don't think I have. So that's really... And I like the fact that now I can imagine Stuart Bingham rapping along to Lose Yourself.
Yes, and just you wait, Tom. In a future episode, I'll have the XL Stuart Bingham in the background.
You better do. You've promised that now, Joe.
No.
Live on the podcast.
Oh,
And this
no.
is staying in the edit. I'm keeping it in.
Oh, dear. You know what, Tom? While I'm here, let's just buy it.
Joe is buying a giant Stuart Bingham live on the podcast.
It might never even come. I don't know how big this Stuart Bingham is going to be. This is quite...
Hopefully 10 foot tall.
Hopefully I can recreate that moment that I had me photo with him. Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, discount code. Should I try bingo balls or something like that?
I mean, what I do think is a shame, Joe, is that if they did rig it to give you the Rhiannon Evans one, they were probably expecting you to review it on your YouTube channel.
Funnily enough, I sent them a message and I said, "Look, I'm a snooker YouTuber. I'd be happy to promote your product, and like because I can imagine a little advert of get your own ultimate snooker card like me." But they never got back to me. So
Wow.
there you go. But yes, I thought you might enjoy that one, Tom.
Yeah, I love it. And I especially love the fact you're buying an extra large Stuart Bingham.
Yes, I don't really know why I'm doing this. The shipping is £8.82, so I'm a little bit worried that this is 10 foot tall.
Is it going to be Bingham delivering it in person, coming out of a
Bloody
box?
well hope so for this price. What am I doing? Thank you for your purchase. What have I done? To be fair, it says 59 by 37 centimetres, so it is 2 foot by a bit more than a foot. So it's gonna be the size of. Oh no, this is a disaster.
Mate, you have to review it on your YouTube channel so we can see
I
how
am
big
not
it is.
reviewing it on my YouTube. No, we can have it on the podcast. I will send a picture of it. You can splice it over. What have I done? I'm going to get in trouble for that one.
Well, I'm glad it's not me wasting my money on snooker stuff for once, frankly, Joe.
Well, there you go. I mean, the things I do for this podcast. Let us know down in the comments section if any of you have got an Ultimate Snooker card.
Yeah, you can meet up and play with Joe.
Yeah, that's the only two stupid people that have bought one.
I love how this section started with you going, yeah, they're all right, and it ended with you going, oh, I've just bought a Stuart Bingham one.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried that now it's like 2 foot by more than a foot. It's going to be massive. I think I'm going to literally have to stick it on the wall. You see where I'm pointing back there,
Yeah.
Tom? I'm going to have to put it there, I think, to have it in the background.
Display your Rhiannon Evans one next to it?
Well, Rhiannon Evans has been next to the Kellogg's Dennis Taylor, to be fair, and I don't, he's got quite fond of Rhiannon, so
I'm sure he has.
yeah, yes. I don't know what you're trying to suggest about Rhiannon Evans, Tom.
No, it's more about Dennis Taylor.
Yeah, Dirty Den.
That's what they called him back in the 80s.
Yeah, where everybody thought they were talking about Dennis Watts off EastEnders, but actually it was Dennis Taylor they were talking about.
The 2015 World Snooker Champion and 2020 Masters Champion. I'm honoured to join Get Close and Personal, so if you'd like a video message to wish someone a happy birthday, get well soon, anniversary or wedding, or just a simple shout out, look us up on the Get Close and Personal website. Also, a new feature, you've got a one-on-one video call, so you can do a live video call with me. So if you want some advice on snooker, routines or anything to do with snooker, as I say, look us up on the Get Close and Personal website, and hopefully speak to you soon. All the best. Cheers.
Right, Joe, should we cue the music?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, Joe, I mentioned this to you last episode, and I was very surprised when you said you hadn't heard it. This is a song by a band called The Wave Pictures.
Oh, Hazel Irvine. Hazel.
Yep. Maybe we should get you to sing this in Dennis's voice.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's in my range.
You ready to play it?
Yeah, let's go.
At the Masters in January, it was my birthday, and she winked to me, Hazel Irvine.
Is this Dennis singing?
It could be.
Well, Hazel Irvine, hey. I mean, I have to say there were a couple of laugh out loud moments, to its credit.
I like the line a lot about she was very sympathetic to Ding Junhui.
Yeah. And she's too good for John and Steve, or something like that.
I mean, that's undeniable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I you know, it's a tongue-in-cheek song, I think
Yes.
is worth saying. I don't think it's someone who actually is obsessed with Hazel, otherwise it would be a bit stalkery.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking about an experience of where Hazel winked at him.
And this is a recent track. This is from last year.
Wow. Yeah. Do I like it? That's the question. I feel like I should like it. I feel like the quality of the song is probably a lot better than some of the stuff we've heard. But it doesn't sing to me as much as the Mark Selby snooker song.
Wow.
I'm afraid. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's very catchy. It's just, yeah, I don't know. A lot of the snooker songs we have enjoyed have been very positive and very, upbeat and catchy. I'm not sure, well, it wasn't not upbeat, but it's just very standard, really. I know. What about you, Tom?
Do you think it captured Hazel's gravitas?
I think she's deserving of a better song.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is going to be...
We've burnt the bridges with this band. The Wave Pictures. The Wave Pictures.
I am not sure about it either. Someone says to me, "Oh, they've done a song about Hazel Irvine." I go, "Okay, this is exciting." I really like the bits about John and Steve. I like the bit about Ding Junhui.
Yeah, there wasn't enough sort of snooker in there, was there?
Maybe it needed more silliness to it.
Yeah,
It felt like it was half them being silly and half them trying to be really cool.
Yes.
Could you, Joe, as Dennis, say that Hazel winked at you at the Masters?
Hazel winked at me at the Masters. Hazel. I went, Hazel, you're looking good today. And she gave me a little wink. Reminded me of Michaela Tabb. All those years ago. And that's where I got the nickname Dirty Den. And the Bulldog.
No, don't say the Bulldog in that sense. That's horrific.
But anyway, I mean, for me, you know what? I'm gonna be bold and I'm gonna give it a 3.
Wow. Wowee.
Because to be fair, I never want to hear it again.
Oh my word! Is that your lowest score yet?
It may well be. It's down there with the Alex Higgins song, I think.
Wow. I didn't think we'd go to the depths of the Wanderer, but okay. Yeah, I'm not sure, because in my head, you say to me...
Yeah, it should be good.
There's a song about Hazel where there's a bit of a jokey thing where they say she winked at him and...
Called him Dirty Den. No, that was
I don't know, maybe it's not got the silliness that I'd want. Maybe I think the whole, as I said, trying to be like a proper cool band and also sing about Hazel. I don't know what I make of this song, which I think means I can only give it a 5.
Yeah. It's too contemporary to, like, if you heard it, you wouldn't necessarily think it was a silly song, which of course it is a silly song. It should be, because it's about Hazel Irvine. Like, yeah, I don't know. A 5 and a 3.
My favourite snooker songs really make me smile.
Yes.
That doesn't really make me smile. I just go, eh. There's a couple of bits that made me laugh. But...
Yeah. If it wasn't for those, it would be a 1 probably.
Wow.
For me.
Wowee. Right, there we go, people. If you want to write a good song, clearly, because Joe gave them.
I gave Peter Ebdon more than this.
Well, what I like is that you would have given it a 1, but you gave it a 3 because it mentioned John and Steve and Ding. So clearly, if there's a song out there which mentions 10 snooker players, that's going to get a 10.
Well, there you go. That's how it works for me. Yeah. That's why Snooker Loopy's so high, because it mentions potting the red, screwing back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Talks about Dennis Taylor in there. That's how it's so high.
Who would have thought on paper, though, that you would prefer a song about Mark Selby than a song about Hazel?
I know. I feel dirty, almost. But...
Dirty Joe.
Dirty Joe. It doesn't quite ring as well as Dirty Den, though, does it?
Dirty Hannard.
Dirty Taylor.
the old DT.
Oh, dear.
The Dirty Taylor.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I want to like it. Because it's about Hazel, and it's actually a well put together song. It's just a bit boring, unfortunately.
Right, there we go, Joe. Another great podcast in the can. Did you have fun?
Yes, I did. I thought we, the Q School names are always going to tickle us, aren't they? Because we're just silly like that. But, and no disrespect to any of them. It's all in good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing who gets on the tour. Obviously, only 8 spots this year, so only 2 events, I believe. So,
well, that's the thing, because they announced it was £600, and I was going, God, that's way cheaper than the usual 1,000. But usually, it's 1,000 for 3 events, so it's actually not even that much cheaper because there's less events.
Yes, yeah. But it is crazy that for the price of a PlayStation 5 and 3 games, you could have a crack at Q School.
Or the price of a Stephen Hendry action figure.
Exactly. Yeah. What I want to know is, if you win Q School, do you get your deposit back?
Oh, we'll have to... Maybe, Joe, what we'll try and do is we'll try and get one of the winners on to a future podcast and ask them.
Well, let's just hope it's the Lincolnshire sausage. Because we need to ask him why on earth he's called the Lincolnshire sausage. So, Stephen, if you're listening, give us a call.
I'm sure he'll be rushing to the phone after that.
He will be. And also, you've backed him. He was your first horse in the race. You know, he knows that we're big fans. So
massive fans, mate.
And he's on Snooker 19, so, we can even play a tribute match to him or something. Stephen Hallworth versus Stephen Hallworth.
We've got to do that then. We've got to do a Hallworth showdown.
Or Stephen Hallworth versus David Lilly. It'll be like, I don't know if you remember, there was that match. I think it was called The Match. And it was Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson. And they played for something like $50 million. It was just on 18 holes of golf. That's what it'll be. Stephen Hallworth versus David Lilly. Winner takes it all. 18 frames.
And how much money are you putting up for this?
Well, I've just spent 35 quid on Stuart Bingham, so not that much.
Maybe the winner gets the Stuart Bingham card.
Yeah, it could be the Stuart Bingham Invitational. Yeah.
Well, knowing Bingham, he turned up to play in it. He goes everywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great fun, Joe. I'm looking forward to seeing what that card looks like when it arrives.
Yes, yeah. If it arrives. I think that's what we have to remember, that this company probably don't exist anymore, so...
Well, I mean, they took your money, so we will say this could be a little experiment.
Yes, I paid via PayPal.
We should maybe say, both me and Joe do have Patreon accounts, so if you really love the podcast and want to sign up to either of them, then that helps us fund the absolute rubbish that we spend money on.
Yes, absolutely throw your money at Tom. Don't throw it at me, throw it at Tom. He puts in all of the work for this podcast. I just turn up and don't even look pretty because we don't even have video on there. So it's just, I'd give him some impressions and I occasionally bring some stuff to make him laugh. But throw your money at Tom, not me. And then he can maybe perhaps buy the bedding set for him and his girlfriend.
I'm sure she'll be absolutely thrilled with it.
We're having Steve Davis's balls on a bed.
Oh, well, Joe, you do turn up and you look beautiful without even trying, mate.
Thanks.
And that's just for me. I feel privileged.
Yeah. Not many people get that.
We'll catch you very, very soon. Me and Joe are going to both rush off and head to the live snooker score website to spend hours watching our players and see if they can make it through.
Yeah, as I say, Tom does all the work for this, so he's going to go and do that. I'm going to go and enjoy hitting some balls in the club, so...
I'm going to force you to enter Q School one day, Joe. We're going to do it.
You know what? If I keep playing regularly between now and next year, if I make my first century break before next summer, then I might think about it. With one century break under my belt.
I think every podcast there's a bit where one of us goes, oh, if this happens, we'll do something ridiculous.
Yes, yeah. You never know, I might make a century today and I might go, right, Tom, I'm driving down to Q School now. I'm gonna go and take up the place of Tam Mustafa.
No. If you enter Q School and knock all of my choices out, I'll be very disappointed.
Oh, that's what I should do next year, shouldn't I? Yeah. That's the motivation for me now. To win this round of the podcast, just go and beat them all. No other reason.
Accidentally turn pro.
Yeah. Turn down my tour card and go, well, actually, it was just so I could win in the podcast. The Snooker Loopy podcast.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love someone just to turn it down and go, no, I don't want it, mate.
Yeah, I just wanted to prove I could beat everybody. That's the sort of thing Ronnie would do, isn't it? Ronnie would just turn up, beat everybody, and then go, nah, I don't want it.
Right, thanks very much, everyone. We'll be back in June for a recap of how we've done with our Q School predictions. And Joe will be showing off his giant Stuart Bingham friend.
Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed. Good things come to those who wait.